Hello there, and welcome to 10 tips and tricks for a good start in Cataclismo. In this video, I got a lot of little things that will help you out in getting a foot into the door, understand the weirdnesses and the specialties about this game a little bit better, and I hope that by the end of this video you have found something that was helpful for you. So, number one that I want to feature here, this game has a very modular building system where you can build stuff out of bricks. You see, it's a very Lego style thing, and it comes with blueprints. There's a couple of default blueprints that come, and they are really good. Especially the compact housing and the oxygen gatherer and the tower are really good. So the compact housing units show you how this building system here works in detail. So the houses, these are 4 houses, are turned in a way that their roof area is free enough to host another house. There's such a staircase in front of it. And at the end of the day, you can even build yourself a oxygen collector on top of that. The standard blueprint sees that, brings that in automatically. I just didn't have it in the moment when I built that. These default blueprints are extremely helpful to understand how the building system works and what doesn't work. So use them. They're really good from the perspective from somebody who can build with this stuff. They're pretty okay and a good start to see how things work out. And let's move on to number 2. Grab yourself every resources around yourself that you can get. So it's a real-time strategy game. Sawmills only cost a little bit of oxygen in maintenance, and quarries, alright, they're a little bit more costly, but you can't build as many of them as you'd want to. I personally think that wherever you can build a sawmill, you should build a sawmill, because at the end of the day, we're only as productive as high as our income is. So therefore, go for these, as many as you can, and never stop with it, because the upkeep of these buildings is ridiculously low, and wood is the stuff that you need to get yourself more population and more oxygen collectors, and this is just very important in terms of expansion, whereas stone and iron are very important resources for military expansion and defense expansion. Wood also finds a lot of usage in low-tier troops, so it's always useful to have a lot of stuff. Number 3, I want to talk about the save and load mechanics. This game is featuring the save and load mechanic even in the story via the time anchoring mechanic. I'm saying this because most Horde RTS games that I've been playing were very focused around the Iron Man game mode. Cataclismo is more about giving it a shot and rewinding it if it didn't work, and rebuild a different alternative. So use this to your own advantage. Whatever game mode you play, it pays off to save the game before the attack comes on in, and if stuff didn't work out as intended, rewind and redo. This is really cool because this differs from other games that have an Iron Game mode enabled. I mean, nobody stops you from Iron Manning this if you want to, but I personally think that the game sees this as something that is absolutely part of the game strategy. Number 4, refunding and experiments. Whatever you build, you get the full build price back. So if I take the stone brick here and remove it, I get the full price of the stone brick back. This means you are never going to be punished for doing anything wrong. And since the building system of this game is so deep and complex, I would really recommend to just give it a shot. When you have an idea, just build it, and if it doesn't work, well, re-scrap it. If it does work somehow, keep it as long as you want to keep it, and if you feel like you can rebuild it better, do so. Cataclismo does not punish you for that, quite the opposite. It motivates you to do these things, and therefore use that to your own advantage, because without experimentation, you will not get the full potential out of the construction and defense system here ever. Number 5, you should never stop grabbing new land. So at night you need to defend, and when the day comes, see yourself where you can get some enemies down and expand towards there with the beacons and grab that land and keep going. You will always need more resources, check on out in which direction you want to expand depending on what you find, but never cease to grab land, never cease to push ever forward. Because if you don't, eventually the enemy will outscale you. That's just the nature of these games, and therefore it's a very, very important thing to do. Number 6, resource spending. Whenever you see high amounts of resources lying around, oxygen, sometimes you don't have upgrades to pull, so you're sitting on a pile of that. I sometimes have that happening. But wood, stone, and minerals, don't sit on piles of these. If you are on full capacity, think about what you could build next and pause the game and keep going after the full depot is gone. This is most important during your early game, but technically whenever you're sitting on a full resource depot, it's high tide to spend something because your resource gatherers are de facto not working anymore. That's not a good condition. This brings you into a bad situation in the long run. Number 7, wall yourself in soon and always orient yourself from where the enemy will come. As you see here, this is the direction of the enemy attacks, and this is the first direction where you should build yourself a couple of walls, because without it, defense becomes a lot harder. And this game works with a lot of unit bonuses. So these guys get a bonus if they are at 4 meters or below. These guys get a bonus if they are at 5 meters or above. So altogether, these walls, they not only give you a advantage in surviving against the enemy, because the enemy will attack the wall instead of your people, it also gives you damage bonuses and many, many more things. So walling and castle building are absolutely imperative parts of the gameplay, and yeah, started with it as early as you know where you need to defend yourself towards to. Number 8, started out simple. This game is really capable of presenting a lot of cool things, but before you get there, you will start building very, very humble and easy buildings, and it's okay. Try yourself with new structures that you can understand, experiment around with things that make sense. Maybe you should look around into the Steam workshop where blueprints are around, but don't do the mistake in trying to build something overtly majestic or gigantic right from the get-go. Start with small things, expand them. Refunding is a non-factor or is a is not punished in this game. Therefore, you get you get no problems when you start out small and expand from there. You can't just delete the entire block and rebuild it when you have an idea how you can make it better. And I really did that a lot in this game already. So, number 9, when you want to have a quick fix on getting people on walls, here's a couple of little things that you can do with the default blueprints. So the 4-on-4 max robustness tower is not only a nice little thing that gives you a tower right from the get-go. When you place it down, it also features a staircase that you can use to get on top of a wall. So all we need to do now here, for example, if we'd be putting down one of these guys over here, and the other guy over there, we'd just be needing to build a wall between these two with a gate. Then we could, wait a sec, I'll be placing down one of them. As you see there, we don't have the necessary building plot here. So you see when something doesn't work, you can just drag and drop and delete it. And here, these Merlons can be just deleted, and then you can build right next to that. So this little blueprint is excellent to get yourself a staircase. And I want to note here that you can make these blueprints yourself. When you have something you feel like is complicated to build manually, for example, these kinds of staircases, I hate building them manually. These circular staircases, I really don't like doing that manually. But you only need to do that once, and then you can get a blueprint that does that every time you need it henceforth. And this is something that I want to stress out. This is a game which is meant to challenge you to make good and smart little blueprints that will help you out in defending your area and automate what you can automate and build manually what you can't automate. This is really what Cataclysmo is about a lot, and it's a lot of fun, honestly. And as you see there, you can make things little granular, very granular, or you can make things happen or with big default blueprints. It's up to you. Ideally, you combine both, and the longer you play, the bigger your library of blueprints will eventually get. And number 10, tactical supportive structures. This game loves these little things, and it revolves a lot around building these smartly. So I want to introduce the banner. If you set this up here, up there, all these slots around it get a damage boost, as you see there. The game features a lot of these tactical pieces, and your defense structures should therefore not only be placed where it is smart, but also have enough room for your folks to get around that banner and do damage. There's obviously way more than these. There's only one of them. But it is important to point out right from the get-go that a lot in this game is about building a defensive structure that you then furnish out to accommodate the needs of the people that you put in there, because there's a lot of individualization possible, and that's also a lot of fun. Yeah, that's all I want to say for getting started. There's so much more to this game, but these little things are, well, the golden rules and a couple of little extras that are tailored towards Cataclysmo. I hope it helped you out. Let me know what you think. Leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, or feel free to support my work via the donations downstairs or a YouTube channel membership thingy. Whatever you want to do, I deeply appreciate if you do. And if you're still around, I want to say thanks for watching. I really appreciate everybody taking their time to watch the entirety of these videos. And I hope you had a great time. Have a great day, and see you next time.